All right, we are back here on CBD Hemp Library with yet another Delta-8 THC ban update.
Yeah, definitely, because there's a lot of updates happening across the U.S. Tons of states have been making Delta-8 illegal, have been finding different ways to monitor it, have been making it actually legal according to hemp standards. So it's all different types of stuff being thrown at us.
My friends tell me, but friends don't lie, I'm told. All the time.
Yeah, I know here in Texas specifically right now we have House Bill 3948, and that's the bill that is getting ready to get to the governor's desk, which would essentially ban Delta-8 outright by creating, I guess the rule would be that all THC has to fall under 0.3%. It can't be, like the Delta-8 and Delta-10 separation. It just says THC is an umbrella term, which covers Delta-8, 9, and 10. So essentially they're trying to get rid of Delta-8 here in Texas, and it's seeming closer and closer to becoming a reality here. I don't know if there's any update beyond it seems like it's going to happen. It's just a matter of when it's going to happen.
Yeah, but I remember when they had done the smokable hemp flower ban as well, and they tried to do that, and it lasted for some like 48 hours or something like that. There's a lot of money for Delta-8 also at this point in the state of Texas, so I'm hoping that that side of the money can win. But either way, it seems Texas is trying to be a little bit forward with the thought process behind cannabis, but the actual implementation, they're pretty slow in letting us have it.
Definitely. And another update in the Delta-8 market is that Delta-8 and Delta-10 have been officially banned in New York. So while it's on the way in Texas, it's already a for sure thing in New York. So that sucks. I guess New York did legalize, I think, medically or recreationally, right?
Yeah.
Very recently. So at least there's some reprieve there. But I know there's a lot of people who prefer Delta-8 or Delta-10 who are just like, what the fuck? So you're going to legalize Delta-9, but you're going to ban all the other shit.
And with it being sold online, like just readily, it is very questionable to me how they're able to roll that out, how they are able to stop people from legal states having it, shipping it to states that are illegal. They haven't been able to stop like Delta-9 weed with that issue. So I'm just very curious as to who that affects other than just the business owner in your own state, just the person who has a brick and mortar store in your own state. That's the only person that's actually hurting. Yeah,
and maybe somebody that couldn't, I guess, afford the recreational prices that are probably going to come along with New York recreational weed. Instead of paying, online you can get an eighth of Delta-8 or some edibles for $20. You're going into a shop and get an eighth for $60 and some edibles.
I think that's what they'll do though. They just go online and order it. That's what I mean. Like the local person is gonna have to close down, but people will still have access to it.
Exactly. They're gonna be able to find ways to get it. They're just not gonna be like, oh well, guess I'm not doing it anymore.
Let me not support my local business is all that's gonna happen.
Exactly. And that's exactly like you said. Yeah, they're gonna all the small CBD shops who we know some. I guess if you know anybody in CBD, you'll see how big of a game changer Delta-8 was for a lot of people in the industry. Yeah. So to ban it, I would assume it's gonna knock out immediately 50% of the CBD shops in existence, maybe more.
I think more, to be honest. I think at this point, because even the vape ban, when there were still Delta-8 products allowed with the edibles and flower, it still had a significant impact on these companies. So I can't imagine if Delta-8 has to leave. We just went to a conference, and there was almost no CBD being sold at any of these stands. It was being given away as giveaways, but the products that they were actually developing and selling were all Delta-8 concentrates, pretty much.
Yeah, and Delta-10. The Deltas took over the CBD industry, so hopefully it's not banned in anywhere, but it's not looking good. But where it is actually looking shockingly good, to my surprise, Oklahoma,
Oh.
Definitely, if you guys are still here at this video, check out the Oklahoma recap video we did. It's called WTF is Happening in OKC. It's a little travel show we created, which will be linked somewhere around here, I think.
Yeah.
If not, it's on our channel, probably one of the more recent videos. And good news coming out of Alabama. They have medical marijuana in Alabama now.
Yeah.
It wasn't high on my list of places I expected to legalize medically.
The second southern legal state to legalize it. A third is Florida.
Florida's medical, but very strict, very shitty medical in Florida.
Yeah, it's not like openly medical. Huh?
Yeah,
It's kind of like how can
like,
people just get a medical license in Florida?
yeah, it's still a little bit more stringent, but it's getting to the point
And
where
it's, it's flour though too. You can get, or is it just like tinctures and edibles and shit?
You know, to be honest, I think it's everything, but I'd be lying if if I said I'm 100% sure. I don't know
I haven't
anybody
heard anything about it.
I don't know anybody that's involved.
Yeah,
But yeah, Texas definitely. I mean, Florida definitely needs to get on the ball, especially considering Alabama is now medical. I think they passed the legislation for sure, and now I think they said it's a year until medical cannabis dispensaries are up and running, which gives them plenty of time to figure out, I guess, the regulatory structure. But holy shit, Alabama wasn't in my betting pool of next to medically legalized.
definitely not. Like Virginia is the only one in the South this far that's actually been like actually legalized. You know, like really like, and even like open medical.
Yeah.
So now Alabama being the next person or the next state that's going through with it and opening up the way for the South, man. Like you're saying, it's a surprise to me, but it's definitely a positive surprise. It's definitely something I'm happy to hear about.
Seems like day by day, marijuana becomes less and less political. Because it used to be like, oh, it's just a West Coast thing, you know, it's all the blue out there. That's why they legalized it. All the hippies go out there and all that shit. Now it's becoming like, you were saying it earlier, an economic thing.
For sure.
So now it's no longer like, oh, you know, it's like, wait, it makes sense everywhere to do it. So
yeah, but now we're sitting in that time. I talked about this on my personal channel the other day. We're sitting in that corruption time. We're sitting in that time to where the government knows something's happening or coming very, very soon, and they're allowed to have their hands in business, to where like they can, in the exact same way. The best parallel, I was talking to a cousin about this the other day. The best parallel is like alcohol prohibition. How like in the last days of alcohol prohibition, the government leaders knew that it was ending.
yeah,
And they were able to get into these alcohol businesses and really invest and be able to do what they. So that's the scary part about the marijuana industry and with its impending legalization is the fact that, all right, now that we know it's going to be legal, what's left? And it's the corruption.
yeah, and I think right now it's held as a political get out of jail free card. Because I think they're just waiting for somebody to fuck up really badly on either side.
I legalize it.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, oh shit, we fucked up bad. We got to distract everybody.
Yeah.
Let's legalize weed.
In Texas, that was abortion stuff.
Yeah.
In Texas, they're like, oh, we fucked up really bad? All right, no more abortion. And then that's what they thought was going to bring the voting pool back to the center.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because
that's what
in New York, they were like, oh, fuck, Cuomo fucked up real bad. All right, let's legalize weed.
That's what I'm saying. I think that's going to be the same strategy. Like, whatever president it is, whether it's the next one, whether it's this one, or even the one after, who knows at this point. So he's going to get a bunch of scandals week after week, heavy hitting scandals, and he's going to be like, fuck, my only way out of this is to legalize weed, because then everybody will love me.
But local is really all that matters.
Yeah, I agree.
Because we're sitting at 40 states now.
It's pretty
It's 40.
close too, yeah.
I think it's at 40. Yeah. 39 to 40.
Yeah.
And with that being said, like that's almost all of them. So if 50 states are in agreement and the federal government is not in agreement, the federal government no longer matters in that. You know what I mean? Because the federal government now has no arms to extend to really have any jurisdiction. Their jurisdiction is through state governments.
Yeah.
No. Unless they put like took the feds and put them, but you can't go state to state with the feds that easily.
I mean, there's already too much legalization.
Too much.
I still think they be doing raids every now and then, but nowhere near.
I don't think they're fed. I think they're like state raids.
Yeah, but for the most part, for sure.
Yeah.
The feds. I know I think Obama said they were going to stop doing the raids, and then I don't know if they ever continued, but it's a waste of time if you're just raiding a dispensary and getting them.
It's just
they're just going to go buy more product.
Though.
Yeah,
it's just stealing.
Exactly, and then they just burn it.
Yeah,
but nobody gets to enjoy it. Hopefully, at least some of the cops steal it and smoke it.
I guess. It's just fucked up. But at the same time, there's progress being had while there's some stuff being stopped. But we're kind of just all figuring it out at the same time, really. Definitely.
And it's always good to see legalization happen, even, you know, with the same law that's looking to ban Delta8 or within that same bill. Or I don't know what it's called. Like there's like a giant bill that encompasses multiple laws within it, whatever it's called, that sits on the governor's desk, and they're looking to reduce the concentrate penalty to a class 2 misdemeanor.
Yeah.
Which is huge because getting a felony for a drop of concentrate is just ridiculous, especially when edibles and all that shit, and they go by the weight of the brownie.
Class 2 misdemeanor? That's such a crazy jump.
Yeah, it's crazy. And that's like a $500 fine compared to a class 1 felony or whatever it is now.
That's a demographic issue. That shit's so crazy.
So now I'm glad that at least some progress is being made on some fronts in Texas. Some progress is being, I guess, taken away. So it's kind of still neutral. You're gaining some, you're losing some, so you're kind of in the same spot. But overall, hopefully legalization continues to happen worldwide, nationwide especially. I mean, we got pretty much every state around Texas now legalized.
Yeah.
I think Louisiana has some medical bills on the docket, but I don't think they're looking promising. But we'll see what it turns into from this point forward. Where is everybody else that's watching this video looking forward to legalization? Are you in a state where it's already legal?
And what's the status of the legalization in your state? Is it worth it? Do you go to the dispensaries, or you still more black market with it?
Yeah, that's true. Are you a dispensary goer or the street market? That's a good question. Let us know in the comments. And that's really it. You got any other updates?
I don't think so.
Make sure to check out our Oklahoma City documentary. It's what WTF is happening in OKC. It describes some food, a great event, Chronic Palooza. So check all that shit out. We appreciate y'all. Make sure to hit the subscribe button. We are officially only on 1 strike. We've been on 2 strikes for the channel for about 3 months now, which means 1 strike away from being banned. So we got some daylight here now, and we're going to start dropping more and more content for you guys. Always appreciate you tuning in. And it's been another one.
Hell yeah.
Peace.